Hello my friends and welcome to Philobytes, a video series where I talk about various topics about games that I don't think are large enough to warrant a deeper analysis video. And today I'm going to be talking about soft rating systems in games, and I actually think that I prefer soft rating systems over hard rating systems when playing a game. So before I begin, let's actually explain what I mean when I say a hard rating system versus a soft rating system. So a hard rating system is when at the end of a level, a mission, an encounter, or some isolated segment of action or gameplay, the game gives you a rating for how well you did, sort of describing the sort of things you did in order to get certain amounts of points, or giving you a letter or number grade such as D, C, B, A, S, 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 or the very coveted SSSS rating. All those things, S plus, S double plus, any kind of rating system to sort of have the game tell you how well you did, not just sort of knowing how you felt about how you did, but actually getting some hard numbers, some hard metrics being tracked and then presented to the player to say, this is how well you've done. You'll see this sort of thing in a lot of Platinum action games, in Devil May Cry, in Bayonetta. You will see it in Sonic Adventure 2 Battle when you finish, or any time trial game really, when you finish a mission, it will usually give you a rating at the end, which is a factor of how quickly you were able to do the level, and if it also has combat, how many enemies you destroyed, how many things you collected, if it's a collectathon sort of time trial, that sort of thing. And those rating systems are fun, but I think I actually prefer soft rating systems because, and let me explain what those are before I actually get into why, not get ahead of myself here. A soft rating system is similarly if you are in a game and it wants to track certain metrics and then give you a report about how well you did. A soft rating system is one that does not actually give you a full detailed analysis of what that system is. Oh, I just remembered that Death Stranding also had a hard rating system for completing deliveries. Back to soft rating systems. Soft rating systems give you some kind of blurb or gentle notification about how well the encounter went. Some examples of games that have soft rating systems are, say, God of War, the fourth one, the one on the PlayStation 4, God of War, Dad of Boy. This game used Atreus as a soft rating system. Whenever you would finish a combat encounter, Atreus would have something to say about either, oh, that was really hard, or wow, we did amazing, or be extremely ecstatic if you took no damage during the entire thing and got everyone killed off very quickly. This basically, Atreus tracked how well you did, or the game tracked how well you did, and depending on how well you did, would have Atreus respond accordingly to let you know that something went well or poorly. Other games that use this sort of soft rating system would be, say, Final Fantasy 15 had it, and I'm not entirely remembering a lot of other examples, but I most recently came across it when playing The Outer Worlds, in that there was just one little instance. For some reason, I found one lone marauder just standing by himself, and it wasn't an encounter any larger than that one marauder. And I ran up, I turned on my tactical time dilation, I smacked him with a sword really fast, and then the marauder died. And when I turned off the tactical time dilation, Pavarti chimed in and was like, wow, you didn't even break a sweat. That was so amazing. Oh my gosh, you're the best person ever. I love you. That sort of thing. And it was kind of, it was funny because it wasn't a hard encounter. It didn't last any time at all, but the game's soft rating system responded to me in such a way as to say, like, wow, that was so amazing what you did. And even because it was coming out of the character Parvati's mouth, it was, earnest and sincere, if not awkward. but it also, if it were coming out of any other character from that game's mouth, it would have sounded more like sarcasm of like, oh wow, you're really great, you killed that one guy using your cheat powers, so good for you. um, but it kind of just made me think that with a soft rating system, and this isn't going to be true for all games, especially if it is like a time trial or a mission based sort of thing, but if the game is a more story centric, more setting centric sort of, let me engage with exploration, let me engage with characters, let me, not be taken away from the action at any moment because I want to seamlessly transition from one part of the gameplay to a different appeal of the gameplay if it's like an open world setting, I think that soft rating systems are best because, for one, it doesn't take time out of actually engaging with the game. And that's extremely important if you're going to have one contiguous experience while playing and not isolated, chopped up experiences while playing that are predefined. By keeping it contiguous, by keeping you in the game, you get to still have an understanding of how well you're faring against the game's expectation of what is par, what is normal, and get that sense of progression the better you do, or get that sense of having a hard fought battle when you don't do well but you still make it out at the end. And that leads me to my other point about soft rating systems, is that it gives an opportunity for character and world building that is very unique. It's sort of reactive to the player. It waits for the player to take action and then responds to them. And the ways in which a character responds to you or describes your victory or failure in different ways is a way that games can use paced dialogue that doesn't have to stop the rest of the game, to establish what that character is like, or establish how they see you, even how they see you over time, if you want to include something like an affinity system, a social link system, where the character becomes more on your side over time, and so their set of how they respond to you handling different scenarios will also change to sort of indicate, do they like you or do they hate you, or are they unfamiliar with you, and really flesh out the character in that way, sort of let you experience who they are at different parts of the game depending on their familiarity with you, because that'll create a larger dimension to the character. And a lot of games really sell themselves on those character interactions, like the Outer Worlds. The Outer Worlds gameplay, its core first-person shooter gameplay is really on point, but it is somewhat one or two note, I would say. You're either doing the shooting or you are doing melee, and if you're doing one or the other, the game's pretty much the same the whole way. The game really shines with its writing and its character development of your crew and other people you interact with, as long as you proceed with it at a reasonable pace, not sort of get bogged down in the details, because if you do that, you could be present for a very long time and not really be getting the joy of seeing a conversation or interaction with a character play out in real time. But because of that sort of like, it keeps you in the moment, keeps you immersed, and can be a great way of establishing character, of building world and setting. I think that soft rating systems are an extremely good tool to be using for games that are really more focused on creating a immersive story experience, something that doesn't pull you out of it, doesn't take away your control over the game while they deliver story to you. I think it's very insightful the way that it has been implemented in certain games, like particularly with God of War. Its entire design focus was on creating a single contiguous experience. It was coming out as being sort of famed for having everything being in a single shot in that there were no cutaways when they moved into a cutscene. It was always just loading behind the scenes so that when the moment came, the camera could just move and the game assets would then start playing in such a way as to create the cutscene. The first game to ever do it with that degree of specificity. Okay, I'm going to just cut this part out then. I don't know where I'll make that cut, but I got embarrassed and paused by someone coming to look at me slowly. I mean, there are definitely lazy ways that you can implement this, but even then, even with a lazy way, I think I would still appreciate it, just because having the game react to you, or having someone or something in the game react to you in real time, helps you feel like your actions have impact, that your agency matters, because it elicits a reaction. You know that you have had an effect when you can observe a reaction taking place. And so for that reason, I think I enjoy soft rating systems more, mainly because of the kinds of games that I play more do have a focus on maintaining player control over the action and the character at all times, while also wanting to be more story focused, more setting building focused. And those aspects of games are important to me, and I like seeing those games react more to me while I'm playing, and this is just one way that they can react to me in a way that feels satisfactory, that feels rewarding when I get to hear it. But that's all I have to say on the matter. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm going to say all the YouTube things now. You got to ring the subscription bell down below so that you don't miss any other videos that I come out with. Also hit the like button, because the like button is the single best way for the perfect and very handsome YouTube algorithm to suggest this video to other people who might enjoy it. Also, share it with your friends if you think they'd like it, or on various internet forums such as Reddit or whatever else you use, so that this video can get in front of those communities, so that I also don't have to be a dirty video spammer. Thank you for saving me from that horrible, horrible lifestyle. And, as always, stay true.